Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have a brand new pick a card reading, but before we dive into it I have such a special announcement. I just rebranded my entire Gem Goddess brand and we have a whole new website, and I created some of the most beautiful tools for you, including free downloads that you can have that can help you up-level your reality, that can help you with manifestation, and those are all free for you. You can download them on my website. And I also have the most amazing meditations, which if you have listened to any of my meditations on YouTube, you already know how powerful they are. We've gotten the most amazing feedback on the meditations that I've had on YouTube. However, I made even more potently powerful meditations on this new website that for me, they have absolutely blown my old meditations out of the water, and you can get them right now for a discounted price because of this new launch that we are celebrating right now. And you can also get the entire collection, which is an even extended discounted price if you want to get all of the different meditations that I have. There's 11 different ones that you can use for transforming your reality. If you want to manifest something new in your life, one of the best ways to do that is through meditation, and that's my main way of manifesting things in my life, because meditation, for one, helps you rewire your subconscious, helps you rewire your beliefs, and helps you shift your energy all at the same time. And so meditations are, in my opinion, the most powerful way to shift your reality, to manifest something new, to heal yourself. And I have meditations for all different types of things. One of my favorite ones is actually doing a morning and evening meditation, because those are the two most powerful times of day to shift your reality and to manifest. And I have a morning and evening meditation that you can find on the website, and those are so powerful. But I also have a manifesting one, again, a healing one, activating your higher self, your higher timeline. There's so many different meditations on there, so I'd highly recommend checking it out, or just having fun browsing through the website and downloading some of those freebies. Everything will be linked down below if you want to check that out. And thank you so much for allowing me to sponsor my own videos. I'm so excited for you to see this new website. It is like a representation of the Gem Goddess energy in the most beautiful, encompassed way ever, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts about it. And thank you so much, and let's go ahead and dive right back into today's pick a card reading. Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have a brand new pick a card reading all about the next chapter of your love life. So if you're curious what the next chapter has in store for you, you came to the right place. I use the tarot cards and the oracle cards to make predictions using the guidance of spirit to channel you accurate predictions for whatever topic that the video is. And this one's all about, again, the next chapter of your love life. So the way that this video works is I have 4 different groups in front of me. Over here we have pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what you're gonna do is take all the time that you need, even pause the video if you would like, in order to find the pile that you are the most intuitively called towards and drawn towards. So perhaps when you clicked on this video, maybe your eyes just were magnetized towards a certain group, or maybe you had an unexplainable magnetic pull towards one of them, and that is your intuition speaking to you. So you don't necessarily choose based on which one is like the prettiest, but sometimes sometimes maybe that's the one that you are intuitively called towards, but you want to use your intuition. Another way that I like tapping into my intuition is by using my hand, and I slowly just glide it over each of the groups, and I wait to see if there's one that just stands out or feels a little bit different to me. Perhaps you're gonna feel, again, a magnetic pull towards one of them. Perhaps you're gonna get a hot or cold sensation, or one of them is just going to stand out amongst the rest. And again, that's your intuition speaking to you. So that is how this video works. And then there's timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box, so that you can easily navigate through this video and click and skip ahead right to your personal reading all about the next chapter of your love life. If you'd like to see a close-up of the crystals, if you like to kind of get more of a sense or feel for them in order to choose your group, I'll also give you a close-up of each of the crystals. So here we have Angel Aura Quartz, which is one of the most beautiful, gorgeous crystals. So that's for group number 1. Group number 2, we have this gorgeous piece of Amethyst. Group number 3, we have this beautiful piece of Aqua Aura Quartz. And then group number 4, we have this beautiful Rose Quartz. So again, depending on which group you are the most drawn towards or called towards, that is going to be your pile, and there's timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box so that you can easily skip ahead right to your personal reading all about the next chapter of your love life. I'm so excited to get into it, and without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into today's reading. All right, my group number ones, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about the next chapter of your love life. So let's go ahead and find out what's in store for you. All right, so my group number ones, the next chapter of your love life. Let's go ahead and see what we have for you. Ooh, this card feels like it wants to come out. This card, Eight of Swords being reversed. Ooh, and the Lovers upright. Wow. The next chapter of your love life, it looks like you are coming more out and becoming much more open in your love life. When the Eight of Swords is reversed, this is you opening up to being more vulnerable, opening up about your feelings, and also I'm getting a message that somebody might open up to you deeper about their feelings as well, because when the Eight of Swords is reversed, it's kind of like we're no longer caged up, we're no longer being boxed in. Our voice, our inner thoughts, our inner emotions, our inner feelings are no longer being boxed in. And the fact that this is coming up right next to the Lovers, I feel like if you're currently single, somebody has feelings towards you that they are going to open up about, I would say within the next 8 days to 8 weeks. Is what I'm feeling. And I'm also feeling that you as well, at the same time, are becoming much more open in yourself as well. So even if you're in a relationship, let's say you're already in a relationship or already talking to somebody, I see you opening up so much more, becoming more vulnerable, becoming more open. If you feel lately like, or even in the past, if you felt kind of closed off or just felt like you weren't expressing yourself as much as you normally would, or maybe your emotions were a little bit more shut down, maybe there was different stressors that you had in your life, or maybe it was previous past experiences that caused you to maybe emotionally shut down, or again, different stressors in your life that have caused you to be a little bit more closed off than you would like to be. In the next couple months, within these next couple months, you are going to start opening up so much more, and there is somebody that's also opening up to you, and you're going to feel very safe with this person. I get such a safe feeling regarding your love life within these next couple months with whoever it is that's coming into your love life, or whoever it is that you currently have in there. I just see so much more support and this feeling of comfort, this feeling of opening up and feeling very comfortable and feeling like, oh, I feel safe here. This feels good. This feels positive. I am getting such positive feelings, my group number ones, about you and your love life moving forward. We also have the card of attraction coming up. I feel like there's definite mutual attraction happening in your love life, mutual feelings towards each other. So if you're currently attracted to somebody in your life, I see this all panning out very well. I see a very mutual attraction. I'm also feeling like for those of you who are like, oh, nobody's even attracted to me, I'm super single. I feel like somebody has their eyes on you. Somebody that you maybe don't even realize is really into you. For those of you that are in a relationship, your person, I just see the attraction and the spark really deepening as you open up more. As you let go of whatever stressors have been maybe causing you to kind of shut off your emotions, shut off your feelings, things like that. And as you really open up your heart, express yourself within your love life, I feel like it's going to cause the attraction to just like spark up even more between you and your person. And again, I want to be clear, for those of you who are single, this person will be showing up within the next couple months for you. For those of you that are in a relationship, of course, this is talking about the one that you're in a relationship with. The next card that we have is this could be the one. You are connecting to someone who is really special and really important. This is somebody who cares about you so much and actually sees a very long future with you. Somebody who, wow, your connection is very, very beautiful. If you're already with this person, if you're already committed, this person just, you're the apple of their eye. You are the person that they are so ultimately, so deeply committed to. And I just see that that relationship is deepening here. And then again, for those of you who are single, I feel like as you open up and as this person opens up to you, they really have your best interest at heart, and they want things to work out really deeply. This person wants long-term commitment. They want to be steady with you. They see you in their future for the rest of their lives. That's already something that they are dreaming about, something that they are thinking about. If you currently have a crush on somebody, that could even be something that you are feeling and thinking about already. We also have the card of chemistry. We have such good cards coming up. Chemistry, this could be the one. Attraction, the Lovers, Eight of Swords being reversed. These are all really positive, really beautiful cards. I already feel like things are in motion. When I think about chemistry as well, it's like the mixing of two different things to create a new substance, and there's a reaction that happens. So I actually also feel this energy that as you connect with this person more, and as this opening happens, as you open up emotionally, and as this person opens up emotionally, there's actually going to be this sort of chemical reaction that happens. And I feel like there's going to be sparks. There's going to be like a new chapter opening up that is very fun and very exciting. I'm getting this feeling in my whole tummy, like these butterflies in my tummy. It almost feels like a chemical reaction where all of a sudden these butterflies come up and we're like, ooh, it's like letting out the sparks. And even if you look at this card, it's almost like as this new substance gets put in, as these emotions get dropped in, and as we express what those emotions are, I just see this like bottle bubbling up with magic. That's the image I keep getting in my head, is like this bubble bubbling up with magic. So let's see what else we get for you in this next chapter of your love life. This looks incredibly exciting and positive, my group number ones. I can't believe it. I definitely feel like the next chapter that you have coming in is one where you're going to be really lit up, really excited, and full of energy, because this chemical reaction too is like full of energy. We also have the card of the gift. You might be surprised with something. Whenever this comes up, it's like a pleasant surprise. Somebody might be gifting you something. Somebody might have a big surprise for you. This opening of emotions could be a big surprise. Maybe you're also going to realize that there's so much more to uncover than you realize. There's so much there, and so much more there than you realized. And also, when we think about gifts, it's like this exciting unraveling. So I feel like the unraveling of these emotions is going to be really exciting. There's going to be surprises in store for you within your love life that are really exciting to open up and unravel and get to know deeper and to unravel more. And I see how these gifts, it's like it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I see this as the progression of your relationship. Like the excitement and the unraveling is like, ooh, there's more excitement. There's more excitement. There's even more to be excited about. So I'm almost seeing like staying up late at night just to talk to this person, staying up late at night just to text them and see like, what are you doing right now? Or, you know, the conversation is just so good. The chemistry is so good that it just keeps you energized. It keeps you awake. It keeps you focused. Then the last two cards that we have for you, we have the Revolutionary and Love. Wow. This is going to be a revolutionary new chapter in your love life. This is going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced or felt before. It is going to be full of passion, full of love. It's going to set your heart on fire in completely brand new ways. And the fact that we even have the Lovers coming up, this could be the one, the attraction card, the chemistry card, the gifts card. Like, this is incredibly positive. I feel like this is the person that you're most likely going to marry and be with long term if you're not already married to this person. But yeah, this person coming in, there's a massive potential for this one to be your permanent long-term relationship. I also feel like it's revolutionizing your love life in a brand new way. Like, this is unlike anybody you've ever experienced in your past. So for those of you that have been closed off from your past, and maybe you've been closed off to love because you feel like nothing will ever give you what you want, or, you know, perhaps you've had such bad experiences that it's been hard to trust, it's been hard to open up to somebody, this is going to revolutionize your love life. This next chapter that's coming in for you, which I definitely feel like is happening within the next 8 days to 8 weeks, it's going to be revolutionary for you. It's going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced, and it's finally going to be like, wow, I can actually trust this person. I can feel safe with them. I can open up. I can have these beautiful experiences. And this is going to be what causes your heart to fully open up to love, to fully catch that spark of fire and romance. Like this card is fire, romance, passion, all the beautiful good things. And it's this unraveling. Even this attraction card, she's like smelling the rose. And I feel like this is you taking more time in your life, and also the unraveling. If you think about a rose and how they bloom, it's like your heart is blooming, love is blooming, attraction is blooming, chemistry is blooming. It's going to be beautiful, to say the least. That seemed like such a good reading. I feel like some of you watching this, some of you might even be thinking like, that sounds too good to be true, but the cards never lie. Tarot is such an amazing, beautiful tool, and it's so freaking accurate. Like, the cards, they will always tell you what's going on. And there is such goodness that is happening here in these cards that all I can say is I'm so excited for you. I feel like the mental communication and mental connection that you have with this person as well is going to be so beautiful, since we have the swords coming up. This is going to open you up mentally, where you feel actually safe to say what's on your mind, and you actually feel safe to be open and honest with this person. You feel safe to be seen for your true, most authentic self, because that's also what the Lovers talks about, is feeling free to be seen as your true authentic self. The Lovers is ruled by Gemini, and this is all about being able to express yourself, being able to communicate, being able to be seen, feeling like you have somebody who fully sees you and understands you. That's actually your kind of twin flame, soulmate type of person. And twin flames, by the way, are two souls that enhance each other. They don't diminish each other. You'll see a lot of information out there these days that say, oh, twin flames, it's like this toxic relationship. No, that is not a twin flame. That is a karmic relationship. Anything that is toxic or has toxic traits or has somebody who's not mutually understanding one another or has like on and off kind of situations, that's a karmic relationship. That is like telltale karmic relationship. That is not twin flame. Twin flames are two flames that beautifully enhance each other. They're not destructive. They give life to each other. And fire can be something that gives life, or it can be something that's destructive. When it is destructive, that is a karmic relationship. And when it is passionate and life-giving, that is the telltale sign of a actual twin flame relationship. So that is what I'm seeing for you, all about the next chapter of your love life. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video, and until next time. Bye. All right, my group number 2s, if you chose this pile, let's go ahead and dive right into your next chapter of your love life and see what's in store for you. All right, my group 2s, the next chapter of your love life. Let's see what's going to be happening for you. Ooh, I feel like these two cards want to come out. We have Wheel of Fortune and then the 7 of Pentacles. So things are definitely going to be moving forward and progressing and getting better. Whenever we have the Wheel of Fortune coming up, it's sort of like we're going on an upward spiral in our life. Things are getting better. Things are improving. And it's also sometimes when we get kind of like good luck happening for us. So there's good luck that's going to be happening in your love life. 7 of Pentacles is a card that talks about planting seeds and waiting for them to grow. So perhaps in your love life, you've recently set some intentions and now you're kind of waiting for those things to transpire. Perhaps those intentions, maybe you set them a while ago, maybe you've recently set those certain intentions, but this is waiting for those seeds to now blossom. But what they require is the care, the attention, and the time. So what I'm seeing this next chapter of your love life is giving time to nurture the intentions that you've made moving forward regarding your love life. And there's also good luck regarding that. So if you've been waiting for something to happen, if you've been waiting for a sign and you're like, okay, I want some good news here, or I want to know that what I'm doing is going to pay off. Yes, it is, because the fact that we have the Wheel of Fortune here says that there is like really good karma, and you are in this phase now of going into a time of receiving good karma. Okay, so you've been giving a lot. Maybe you are like somebody who tends to give a lot and you've been waiting until, okay, when am I going to receive? I give so much, when am I going to be on the receiving end of that? And I see in this next chapter for you, this is your time to receive. But also the 7 of Pentacles reminds us to continue putting that effort forward and to not give up hope with what it is that you set those intentions for. Maybe those intentions are like, I want to find my real life partner. Or maybe those intentions are, I want more balance in my relationship. Maybe you set the intention like, I want to give myself some self-love. Whatever your intentions have been, now's the time to actually nurture that intention, to put energy towards that intention. And even if you are somebody who's like, I've been putting time and energy towards this intention forever, when is it going to pay off? Do not give up, because so many times we give up before we strike our gold. And there's actually a really interesting story that I heard recently, and I think it was a story that's in a children's book or something. I'm not entirely sure. I don't quite remember, but I do remember the story. And the story was these two people went to go dig to find diamonds or gold that was underground, and they got these brand new tools to do so. So they start digging, and they dig super far. And you can see in the book shows like this cutout of the earth. And you can see that they're like just a nick away from the diamond or the gold that's like sitting underneath the earth. And then they look at each other and they're like, oh, we've been digging for a while. Maybe we should switch directions. Maybe we should go this way. So then they start digging the other way. And as the reader, you're like, no, it was right there. So they start digging the other way, but then there's another diamond that they're getting close towards. And you're like, oh yeah, maybe they'll get this one. And then, they dig for a while, and then they look at each other and they're like, we've been digging in this direction for a while and still nothing. Maybe we should change directions again. So now they change directions again, and they were a nick away from hitting their diamond again. And so I feel like this message is coming up for you right now, because there's this message of don't give up too quickly. Don't give up even if it feels like it's been taking a while. Even if you feel like, I've been going at this intention for a while. I've been going after this idea for a while. I've been trying to pursue this vision, this desire for a while. And maybe you haven't struck the gold yet. The message here is continue moving forward, because you might be seconds away right now from your intention. So do not give up. Continue moving forward and continue putting that effort towards what it is that you desire, because I definitely see like good luck is on your side, and you're on that upward spiral where instead of getting disappointments, you're going to start to see progress. You're going to start to see more and more wins in your life. Okay, but it also requires doing what is necessary, because that's what the Seven of Pentacles reminds us of. It's like the card of taking action, to put effort forward. Okay, regardless of what happens, regardless if that seed is not sprouting quite yet, you continue putting the effort forward and finding ways to figure out how to get that seed to grow, figuring out ways to get that to bloom and get yourself to bloom. This could also be working on yourself to get yourself to bloom more, to get yourself to a more happier, more fulfilled state of being. So let's see what else we get here for your love life, my group twos. We also have children coming up. Maybe children have been an aspect of your love life. Perhaps maybe some of you want kids. Okay, maybe some of you watching this, maybe you really want kids, and maybe you've been trying for that, but it's been difficult. The fact that we have children coming up, okay? Do not give up hope. There is positive things that are going to start happening. You're going to start finding your answers that you need in order to make things happen. Okay, so if any of you have been struggling with getting pregnant or any of that, continue, because I really feel like in your destiny, you are meant to get there. So continue looking at how you can make that seed blossom, right? We've been talking about seeds this whole time and making them blossom. Okay, so continue forward. Okay, so your next chapter is getting that fulfillment. For those of you who are like, okay, that's not quite what's going on, but maybe you have children in your love life, and maybe you're like, how do I find time for me and my partner when we have kids, right? In this situation, continue watering that idea, because I feel like things are about to get easier for you. Things are about to, you're about to rake in some good karma, some good luck, some more ease, and everything's always temporary, right? Like, I'm a new mom, and me and my husband have been trying to navigate like, okay, how do we find time for each other while we also have this brand new newborn daughter who we're both so in love with. It takes some navigating, but every stage is temporary. And one thing we keep telling each other is like, oh, the stage is temporary. We're gonna have our time again as she starts to sleep in longer intervals and things like that. We always navigate things as they come. For those of you who are like, okay, I don't want kids are not a thing, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so for those of you who children is not in the cards for you, the children card can also talk about coming back to that fun, hopeful state. Because if you think about a kid, when they have a dream, a kid can dream about, oh, I want to be a pirate, and they don't give up hope on that, right? They stay in that childhood innocence of never giving up hope on that dream. So for those of you that maybe you're really wanting to manifest love in your life, or self-love, or whatever the case may be, and maybe it just hasn't come yet, the children card would indicate not giving up that hope, getting back to that childhood innocence of, I believe in my dream, and I'm going to continue believing in my ultimate dream regardless of what has happened. Kids believe in that magic. So this is about reinvigorating that magic in yourself. And this next chapter for you is about reinvigorating that inner childhood magic that never gives up on their dream and their desire, because they know, I can make it happen. Sometimes as an adult, we lose some of that childhood magic because we think like, oh, I've been disappointed so many times, therefore we kind of lose that spark. There's a reminder here from Spirit to never lose that spark, because that spark is like the deepest truth of life. And I'm a firm believer of that, because I've seen the most incredible miracles happen. And I feel like in my personal relationship that I have in my life, it is my dream relationship, to the point where there's been so many times in my life while I've been with my husband, and when we first met, that I thought, I'm literally living a fairy tale that I never would have imagined existed in the real world. And I am totally living that every single day. So it is a reminder to me that when I've heard other people who have lost hope before say like, oh, it's never that fairy tale dream, those fairy tale dreams do actually exist. And I can promise you that, because I'm living proof of that. Those fairy tale relationships do exist. Those fairy tale outcomes within your career, within life. And I'm not saying that there's never hardships. There are hardships that you navigate and go through, just like there are in fairy tales as well. There's hardships through fairy tales, but the underlying magic that keeps you two together is like that fairy tale romance where you're like, wow. It's like when you wake up every day and you're like, wow, I can't believe that I have this, you know? So just to tell you, yes, it does exist. So let's go ahead and see what else we have for you in the next chapter of your love life. Anything is possible. Ooh, okay. We have the card of rejection and then the card of security. Look at that. Two very contrasting cards that give a very, very clear message. So in aspects of your life where either maybe you've gone through a lot of rejection, okay, so I'm speaking to those of you who have maybe gone through a lot of rejection or a lot of disappointment recently with what it is that you've been wanting to manifest within your love life. Your security is coming in this next chapter. Spirit is telling you that this next chapter is full of ease, full of peace, and full of security and commitment, where you don't have to worry. Your heart is safe and nestled in. For those of you, okay, I really am feeling called to speak to those of you who have had like pregnancy loss and have been wanting to manifest getting pregnant. Look at this heart that's so beautifully nestled. So beautifully nestled. It looks so perfect. It's growing. And it grew to the full size. Like, for those of you that needed that message, I really feel like there is going to be a very positive outcome for you. There's going to be a way of you figuring your things out so that you can have your babies that you want. So I know that that was a very specific message. For those of you that, again, children are not in the equation, perhaps this has just been rejections that you've had previously. Maybe you've been thinking like, am I even going to make it in time to have children? Because maybe we've been just going through disappointment in our love life. And we're like, oh my God, am I even going to get to have my happy ending? Yes. Okay. The heart is safe. Security is coming. You will get to this point. This next chapter in your love life is this point. Okay. So let's get some more cards on this reading for you. And let's see what else we get here. Any last messages for my group twos for the next chapter of your love life? Let's see what we get here. Okay, so we have compassion coming up. I feel like this is the ease of emotions, more compassion for yourself, more compassion also for your past, and kind of I almost see like being thankful for your past and being able to close that chapter and look compassionately towards the future. I'm also hearing forgiving your past, forgiving yourself, and forgiving others. We also have higher perspective coming through. You're going to be able to have a higher perspective in this next chapter. You're going to be able to see, okay, you know what? I see why these things had to play out. you're gonna have so much better of a perspective in this next chapter. I feel like as things really start happening for you, as this good karma really starts raking in, these good things start raking in because you're not giving up and you're continuing to move forward, there's this higher perspective that's going to be coming through, that all these past disappointments, you're going to look back on them with this higher knowing, like, okay, things that are meant to be always will be. You're going to see things from a higher perspective. And I know sometimes when you're still going through a hard time, it can be hard to look at things from that higher perspective. But I'm telling you right now, this next chapter for you, you're going to be able to look back from that higher perspective and no longer feel the grief or the sadness or the hurt or the rejection or the disappointment. You're going to be able to look back and be free from those old emotions in this next chapter. I'm seeing this freedom, this total freedom. Looking at things from bird's eye view and no longer feeling weighed down by them, no longer feeling attached to them, because it's like you're ascending, you're moving forward, and your heart is safe in this next chapter. So that is what we have for you. My group number 2 is all about the next chapter of your love life. That was such a beautiful reading. And thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. If you want to see more videos like this, definitely hit the subscribe button down below. And until next time, bye. All right, my group number 3 is, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about the next chapter of your love life. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group 3s, let's go ahead and see the next chapter of your love life. The first card that we have is the 5 of Pentacles being reversed. This card, so the 5 of Pentacles when it's upright is when we feel alone, when we feel abandoned, when we feel rejected, or when we feel almost just alone or on our own for some reason. When it's reversed, however, it is the opposite energy of that. It is us feeling comforted. It is us feeling welcomed. It is us feeling connected. This next chapter, I feel like you are getting to a point where you're like, I no longer want to feel alone in my life. Some of you, you could be in relationships where you feel alone, or you feel constantly left out, or you just don't feel that connection. Or some of you, again, you might even be single and you might literally be alone. This next chapter of your love life, I feel like you are getting to a point where you're like, I no longer want to feel like this. And this is sort of stepping into this energy of, I feel like you are setting a new standard in this next chapter of your love life, where you're no longer going to accept situations that make you feel alone. You're no longer going to accept situations where you feel unsure, unsteady, or being with somebody who doesn't uplift you or make you feel amazing, right? I also feel like some of you are getting the courage. I just got a message. Some of you are getting the courage to choose to be on your own rather than feeling alone or rejected or even misused by someone. Because I feel like you're getting to this point of realizing, like, I would actually feel more fulfilled and more loved by myself than being with somebody who makes me feel really alone and really empty, or really rejected or ignored or misused or mistreated. You're getting the courage to step away from situations that make you feel negative. And you're also getting the courage to raise your standard, to be like, you know what? I'm no longer going to give time to people who misuse me, mistreat me, etc. And it's also, I feel like, you welcoming yourself into a new chapter where you are accepting yourself, where you'll no longer need to feel like you need to rely on somebody else for reassurance or rely on somebody else to make you feel happy. And I feel like this next chapter is going to be so positive in those ways, because it's you really getting into an abundant mentality around your love life and realizing that you deserve abundance, you deserve happiness, you deserve goodness. So let's go ahead and see the next card that we have for you regarding your love life in this next chapter. My group 3s. Let's see. Ooh, this card's wanting to come out. 9 of Swords being reversed. Wow. This is a card of releasing worries and releasing anxiety. What was in your love life recently that was giving you anxiety, giving you worries, giving you a hard time, almost to the point where we're like losing sleep at night, or even ruminating into negative thoughts. There was something in your life that maybe caused like a chapter of negativity recently, but in this next chapter, this is going away. The fact that both of these cards came up reversed, this is you opening up a new chapter that's going to be releasing worries, releasing negativity, releasing things that caused anxiety or caused loneliness or any of that. You're having the courage to end that cycle, to end that chapter, which is amazing. Like, good for you, because sometimes it's not easy to end those things. Sometimes it's not easy to end those chapters, especially when we're feeling so low. Sometimes we like cling on to things because even if they're negative, they kind of give us a little bit of some type of security. But I feel like at this point, it's like you're really leveling up in your own inner self, realizing what you're truly worthy of. And it's giving you the courage to walk away from things and say no to things that do not fulfill you, which I think is going to be amazing. I am so excited for you. Because as you make those choices, like, things just become so much better. You open yourself up to more, and there are better situations than that in the world. So I feel like you're opening yourself up to, like, yeah, I'm going towards better. I'm no longer going to feel alone. I'm going to set new standards. I'm raising the bar. So let's go ahead and see what else we get here for you. My group number 3s. We have the card of trust coming up. For one, I feel like this is self-trust, being able to trust yourself, to trust those inner feelings that you have, because maybe there's been a background feeling that you've had for a while that's been telling you to take action on something, or it's been telling you to make a certain decision. And maybe that inner feeling, maybe we've been ignoring it. And maybe we've been like, oh, but like, what if it doesn't work out? What if I make this decision? What if I regret it? What if I regret making this decision, right? Because that can be a huge thing. But self-trust is coming up in this next chapter. And even this card says this situation is calling you to have faith. Have faith in yourself, and have faith in your inner feelings, and have faith in your desires, right? Have faith in knowing that the world can provide so much better and that you deserve so much better. And the next card we have is chemistry. What you want does exist. And this next chapter, I feel like you're getting the courage to trust, which is going to open you up to a new chapter where you're calling in more chemistry, calling in more zest in your life, and a trusting relationship. You're calling in a trusting relationship, or you're calling in the fact that maybe trust and honesty is very important to you in creating chemistry, right? Trust and honesty is super important in creating chemistry. And when we don't have it, we feel alone. We feel like we don't want to connect, right? So I feel like this next chapter for you is realizing your values, realizing what's so important to you, and you're going to be taking steps towards that, taking steps towards creating more trust within yourself, creating more trust within the relationships that you choose to connect with, which is going to help you feel more chemistry. It's going to help you feel more love in your life. So that's going to be very beautiful in this next chapter. And let's see what else we get here for you. My group number 3s, what else do we have for the next chapter of your love life? Let's see my group 3s. Okay, we also have strings. And do you see how this fire is here? For some of you, I feel like you're letting something go in your love life. Burning old ties. For a lot of you, I kind of feel, for most of you watching this, I'm going to speak to different groups here because this is a general reading. So for some of you, you may have had ties to someone where it wasn't fulfilling. You felt alone there. You're getting the courage to burn those ties, to say no more. I'm no longer being stringed along in this. Some of you, you might have been stringed along in a relationship that was literally stringing you along. And maybe you're getting the courage to be like, you know what? No, I trust that something better is out there. Maybe you were in a relationship where there was lack of commitment. Maybe there was no commitment there. And again, we were just being strung along. And this is the next chapter here is like the courage to say no more of that. It's either all in or all out, right? I feel like some of you are getting the courage for that. Also with this strings card, I feel like you're also getting the courage to let go of old beliefs that maybe kept you scared. The courage to burn away the old fears that kept you stringing along or being tied to things that weren't fulfilling because maybe we thought like, oh, that's as good as it gets. This is not as good as it gets. There's a reason why these cards have two angles on them, because there's either trust or there's a lack of trust. But the fact that that trust is a concept means that trust also exists, and there's trusting relationships that exist. So it does get better. There is more to life than the negativity, right? So that's another card that came up. Let's go ahead and see what else we get here for you for this next chapter of your love life. We have paradox. So I feel like you're going to see the other side of the situation. You're going to see another side to this story, and you're going to start to see like, you know what? I want better. And this next chapter for you is going to be more of focusing on trust, focusing on honesty, and focusing on, I want chemistry, because again, the way that a lot of chemistry is built upon trust. It's really hard to have chemistry when we lose trust. So we also have the explorer. You're gaining confidence to go and explore outside of your comfort zone, to go and explore new things, new chapters, new experiences. I also feel like pulling another one of these cards. Let's see what else we get here for you. My group number 3s. I also feel like there's going to be really important conversations that you're about to have in this next chapter, or that actually lead to this next chapter. There's about to be really important conversations that you're about to have, either with yourself or with somebody else in your love life currently, and it's going to open the doorway to a new chapter. So there's going to be really important thoughts, really important conversations that you're going to be having internally and possibly also externally. We also have the card of caution coming out. So one thing I'm also feeling is, for one, I see caution being a good thing, as you being more cautious about who you choose to let into your life intimately. So having more caution with that, kind of, you're going to be so much more aware of red flags. And you're going to be so much more strong and sturdy about what you want, because again, you're raising your standards, and you're kind of going to be like, you know what? I'm much more aware of what I want and much more cautious in choosing who I let in, right? Trust is so important. Caution as well. I feel like in this next chapter for you, it's like you're more protective, but caution is such a positive thing, because it's not like putting up walls. It's literally just having more of awareness, really. And this next chapter for you, I feel like is so positive, because caution is like the positive way of approaching things properly, right? Because it's not building up walls. It's not building up, it's not being closed off. It's just being cautious. And I feel like that's such a positive thing to be coming up here. And let's get one more card here to end us off for this next chapter of your love life, my group 3s. We have the card of friendship coming up. I feel like you're going to be so supported in this next chapter. There's going to be people that really support you. Perhaps you're even feeling this right now, like there's people that really want to be around you and really support you. I also feel like for some of you who chose this group, this could also be talking about a friendship that's in your life. Like it could be talking about a very intimate friendship that perhaps you're like, okay, I want people in my life that I'm going to ultimately really trust. And I also feel like there is a new friendship that will actually be blooming for a lot of you. I feel like through this, you're actually going to get closer to somebody or meet somebody new that's going to be a very close, really beautiful friendship. And this next chapter for you, I feel like, is one of healing, one of letting go, one of raising your standards. And because of that, the people that you then begin to attract are people that you're like, oh, I genuinely feel like I can be really close to you. I genuinely feel like I can trust you. And that makes me feel chemistry, right? You're going to be exploring completely new things. And I also see perhaps you're calling in more freedom into your life in this next chapter because of the fact that you're letting go. Oh, some of you were in relationships where you almost felt like you couldn't be yourself or do the things that you wanted. Or perhaps you even felt that while you were on your own. Some of you were in relationships that made you feel that way, or some of you just have felt that way in general in your life, even if you were single and could have your own freedom. You felt stuck for some reason. Maybe you felt like you couldn't do the things that you wanted for whatever reason. maybe fears from your past or whatever. This next chapter, you're literally unlocking freedom. You're unlocking the ability to be yourself, to go and explore the things that you've always wanted to explore, to cut away the ties that were keeping you stuck, right? Look at, you're cutting away those ties. You're no longer getting chained up or feeling restricted or feeling tied down by fears, tied down by people, tied down by situations. You're calling in freedom to explore. And I feel like this next chapter for you, you're actually going to be possibly traveling more and doing things with people that you love, people that you truly, genuinely trust. You're going to be making connections with people you genuinely trust. I actually really see you traveling. I see you unlocking this free aspect of yourself where you're like, oh, I can actually find who I am now, because I feel like the old you was repressed, and maybe we kind of lost a little bit about our truth because we felt like we were stuck and we couldn't be our true selves. Ooh, this next chapter, you are unlocking the true you, being able to trust who you really are, being able to trust that you are safe to now be yourself, right? Not that you weren't before, but it's just like you're getting the courage to now do that. And this next chapter for you is going to be so wildly different. You're really setting yourself free in this next chapter, and it's going to allow you to actually find who you are, to be yourself, and to do the things that you actually want to do. And I feel like this next chapter, it's going to unlock more for you than just positivity within your love life. This is going to unlock so much more for you within your love for your life in general, your own personal fulfillment in life, also within your career. I feel like this is about to unlock things for you. It's going to unlock so much in regards to what you're capable of now. And it's kind of like you're unlocking that capability. You're unlocking your unlimited potential by removing the things in your life that kept you stuck, that kept you feeling negative, that kept you feeling alone, that kept you feeling restricted or oppressed or cut off. This next chapter is about to be beautiful for you. Oh my goodness. Like, round of applause to you, my group number 3s, because the choices that you're now making, the things that you're now doing, the things that are now in momentum for you are about to unlock so much, again, in all areas of your life, because of the fact that you're calling in your freedom and you're going to be finding yourself. Through finding yourself, I'm truly getting this deep feeling of like such deep fulfillment that you're going to be finding in your life. Like such deep fulfillment. I have no words to even explain what I'm feeling right now. This next chapter for you is so deeply fulfilling. And the new people that you're going to discover because of your new freedom, the new friendships that you're going to be making, there's such good memories that you're going to be making with these people. And it's almost going to be this feeling of like, wow, I would have never been allowed to do this before, but now I am. And it's like this feeling of expansion, this feeling of like, look what I'm now able to do. It's like you're really finding yourself, and the people that you're going to be connecting with are just so amazing that you're like, this is what real connection and real friendship is supposed to feel like. Like, oh my God, where was this my whole life? It's that kind of feeling. And through that, I actually feel like you're going to be having a lot of fun, and your love life is just going to feel more free in this next chapter. It's going to feel more free. And I feel like for most of you watching this, you're just going to want to be on your own for a while and to just expand into that freedom. But I don't see you being lonely. I see you being surrounded by amazing people. And I see you with the choice where you're able to choose whether you want to take I feel like you're going to be surrounded by such good people, and there's going to be people that you have the option to create into a romantic relationship. But it's up to you whether you want to make those friendships into something more in this next chapter. But the people that you're going to connect with are so amazing, so beautiful. You're going to feel so connected with them so deeply, and it's going to be up to you whether you want to take that relationship further. You're going to have so many new friends. Some of them, there could be potential for love interest, but it's going to be up to you whether you want to take it there. So that is what we have for you. My beautiful group number 3 is all about the next chapter of your love life. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number 4s, if you chose this pile, this is going to reveal the next chapter of your love life. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group 4s, let's see the next chapter of your love life, what you can expect. let's see what we have here. So the first card that we have coming out, ooh, we have Knight of Cups being reversed coming out. This is internal self-love, moving towards yourself. The Knight of Cups being reversed is when we're on a mission for inner self-fulfillment. So for one, I think you're going to be giving more to yourself, and also in terms of your relationships in your life, you're going to be looking for people who actually give to you. And I feel like you're also wanting to take more of a backseat. So rather than sort of pursuing fulfillment from other people, rather than chasing after other people, you're kind of more taking a backseat and you're like, I'm going to wait until people want to come to me a little bit more. I think that you're working on that balance, because maybe in the past, maybe we've struggled with always being the person who's constantly pursuing, the person who's constantly giving, the person who's constantly filling other people's cups. But when the Knight of Cups is coming up reversed for you, this is now like, I'm going to wait for the balance to happen, where people also come to me, because maybe you've just given so much in your past already. And I also feel like you're ready to give to yourself more. So what I'm seeing for you is focusing on what's really fulfilling for me. What makes me feel love? What makes me feel loved? What is going to make me feel romantic, passionate? What's going to make me feel emotionally fulfilled? So this is you in this next chapter, seeking emotional fulfillment and also being so much more aware of how much you are giving versus how much you are receiving. And I feel like this is really a time of moving towards so much more balance in that area of life. Let's see what else we get here for you. And I also, I have to say, I actually really see this shift happening for you, where people are coming to you to fill your cup. Because when you look at the original depiction of the Knight of Cups, it's a knight on a horse with a cup, and he's chasing after something. And it talks about taking action towards something that's calling you emotionally. However, when it's reversed, it's sort of like we're taking a back seat and we're like, I'm gonna wait till something comes to fill my cup. And I don't mean to say that in a way that sounds like you're being narcissistic in this next chapter. I'm not saying that at all, because really life is about a give and take. And perhaps in the past you've been way too giving, and now's your time to wait to also receive and make room to receive. Because one thing that I've learned in my life so deeply is that when we're constantly giving, we're actually not even allowing space to receive. And therefore, even the people who do want to give to us, we're being so giving with them that we're not even making the time or the space for them to give to us. Or sometimes we're not even feeling worthy of it. So we end up sort of shutting down those opportunities subconsciously without even realizing it. That's a whole other topic. But I really feel like in this next chapter for you, it's about you waiting for that fulfillment. Oh, and then the next card that's coming out is the Nine of Cups upright. This is the wish card, and this is also the card of emotional fulfillment. It's the card of receiving. It's receiving a gift, receiving the things that we've been asking for. And when you look at the original depiction of this card, it's a man who's sitting on a bench, and it's 9 cups that are stacked behind him that talk about being filled, and they're fully filled behind him, and he's sitting there very satisfied, and he's like, I got what I wanted. This next chapter is about you receiving love, receiving compliments. I feel like some of you are starting to be more open to actually hearing and receiving compliments. Perhaps beforehand we used to shut them down. We used to be like, no, oh my gosh. Or we always felt like we needed to return the compliment. And now I feel like you're kind of coming to this space of like, I'm just allowed to receive, and I'm allowed to enjoy receiving, and I don't need to constantly give back the second I receive something. You know, what's interesting is energetically, whenever somebody does something for you, if you energetically feel like you immediately have to give back to them, or you immediately have to return the same compliment or things like that, which once in a while, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. That's actually a beautiful thing, especially in the right time and place. It's so beautiful to also give back what you receive. However, when we're doing it constantly, or we feel like we're obligated to do so, it's because we're actually uncomfortable holding the energy of receiving, and we don't feel like we're worthy of receiving. Therefore, we feel like we have to give it back right away. And so if somebody's like, oh, I'm going to do something really nice for you, and let's say they give you a gift, just because they wanted to. And then let's say you all of a sudden feel like, oh my God, the next time I see them, I have to get them a gift. Oh my God. Or we immediately feel like, oh, I have something for you too, but I just forgot it. Huh? You know, if we feel that type of energy, it's because we're actually uncomfortable with the energy of receiving, because internally, subconsciously, we don't feel worthy of receiving. Therefore, we constantly feel like we have to give it back. Okay. And again, just to clarify, because I really want to be clear here, I'm not saying that it's bad to also give back when you receive. Again, that's a beautiful energetic exchange, and a lot of the times that's very appropriate. But again, just to clarify, when we feel like we're obligated to always give back, it's because we're uncomfortable with receiving. So one thing that you are doing in this next chapter is getting comfortable with receiving. The next card that we have is the card of transformation, which in the original tarot deck, this is the death card, which talks about a metamorphosis. You are shedding your old skin. You're shedding your old skin of who you used to be, which is the person that constantly felt like we had to give in order to feel worthy, in order for people to love us, in order for people to like us. Maybe we had a complex where we're like, oh, if I'm not constantly giving to somebody, or I'm not constantly proving myself, maybe they won't like me. If I'm not constantly showing up, constantly doing, constantly being of service, constantly taking action to prove myself, perhaps we felt like we weren't worthy, or perhaps we felt like people wouldn't see that we loved them, or they wouldn't appreciate us, or whatever internal story that we were telling ourselves or that we internally felt. You're outgrowing that. And you in this next phase are becoming so much more balanced with the energy of receiving. You are shedding the old skin of constantly needing to prove yourself, constantly needing to do, constantly needing to give, to the point where your cup was empty and drained. This transformation for you is a transformation of receiving, a transformation of finding personal, emotional, mental, and physical fulfillment in your life. All of those, even spiritual fulfillment. You're going through that massive metamorphosis where now you're blossoming your wings, but the only way to blossom your wings is when you're fueled enough to spread your wings. Right? Fueled enough to find that inner confidence, to find that energy to even spread your wings. If you think about somebody trying to spread their wings when their life force is drained, they're going to have a really hard time flying. They're going to have a really hard time spreading those wings and actually using them and taking flight in their life. And so I feel like for you, you're about to take flight in your life because of what you're doing. And I know I might sound repetitive right now, but I really want to paint this picture more and more, because I feel like sometimes when you repeat things, it really helps sink it in deeper into the subconscious. It really helps aid in that transformation. And so I do see a massive transformation that's about to happen for you. And we also have the Lovers reversed. So I feel like this card is talking about the imbalance that was existing within your relationships in the past. And I feel like there could be different relationships that might be in your life right now. This could be friendship related. This could be in regards to romantic relationships. It could be regarding any type of relationship here. But because you're going to be standing up for yourself more, being more confident and opening up to receiving, and also kind of letting go of the need to constantly people please or constantly be of service to others, there might also be some relationships that get a little bit upset by that and might be like, whoa, you've changed. All of a sudden, like, you're not constantly doing things for me anymore. You're different. And, you know, some relationships, there might be a little bit of a shift with that, a shift in the dynamic. And you're going to start to really see who loves you for you, who really wants to be in your life for you. And I think the relationships in your life are going to shift regarding friendships and also regarding intimate partnerships. There's going to be a shift. And some of those relationships will be okay as long as that other person actually was genuinely there for you, and not just because of the services you provided, not just because of the compliments you provided, not just because of the constant doing that you provided for other people, and the showing up for other people. I really feel like you're coming into more of that balance, and only balanced relationships are going to stay in your life. And that's going to be a really positive thing for you, and you're going to be able to see that at the end of how positive that shift has been for you, to really have more conscious relationships in your life, people who want that equal give and take. You might even be inspired to leave behind relationships where there was that really unequal imbalance that was happening before. And it's so interesting that I put rose quartz on this group. You're the rose quartz group, which is all about self-love, and it's also all about unconditional love and balanced love. And so any type of relationship that was in your life that wasn't quite balanced is now going to be exiting, and now is your rose quartz era. So for all of you watching this, I would highly recommend keeping rose quartz near you or on you, wearing rose quartz, having rose quartz in your home, because it really helps with that transformational energy of calling in balanced love, and also helping you step into your balanced love of unconditional self-love and unconditional love towards others. But it's balanced, right? It's not like we're overdoing, because anytime you overdo for others, you take away a bit from yourself, because you're not giving to yourself and you're not allowing yourself to receive. Therefore, you're not being unconditional towards yourself. When we're unconditional towards ourselves and towards others, there's a balance. There's a reciprocative balance between those relationships. And then we have unrequited love. Any unrequited love, any love that was not equal, that was not balanced between both parties, that's going to be ending. And I also feel like you have the courage to end relationships where you're realizing that there was an imbalance. Maybe there wasn't an equal give and take. And it could be on your part or their part, right? Like maybe there were certain relationships that we kept giving to that we were like, you know what, I don't actually really like this person. Why am I constantly doing this? Why am I constantly showing up for them when I'm not even fully fulfilled by that person? And then vice versa. Maybe if we were stringing along in a relationship where we could tell the other person wasn't quite into us, but we kept trying to pursue them anyway, hoping that there would somehow be a shift. I feel like you're ready to leave behind those relationships and let them go, which is going to be really positive for you moving forward. We also do have the card here of deception. You're so ready to remove the mask that you've been wearing, and you're also so ready to see the truth of all relationship situations in your life right now. I also feel like these two want to come out. So for one, if you've been wearing a mask where you haven't been fully honest with people about, you know, what you truly think or what you truly feel, or if you've been showing up, you know, people pleasing, because that can also talk about wearing a mask when we're not being ourselves, or we're putting on a persona just to get people to like us, or just to people please, or anything of the sort, you're leaving behind this pattern, because I feel like you're realizing how it's draining you and it's not fulfilling for you. So there's that huge transformation where you're shedding the old skin. The death card in tarot talks about like the shedding of the skin. You can think about like a snake shedding its skin. Isn't that also like removing a mask? We're shedding this outer layer that no longer fits who we are. It's no longer who we are. So that's one thing that you're doing very deeply. We also have the card of the wedding, and we also have finances and career. Oh, I'm getting a bunch of different messages from this. So for one, wedding, you're making a big commitment to yourself. You're making a big promise to yourself moving forward. Wedding as well, you're only going to be with relationships that you're like, I could see this long term, and I also feel there's a reciprocative commitment towards each other, a reciprocative give and take. But wedding, it doesn't always talk about literal weddings. It also talks about the metaphorical, just like commitments that we make. Committing to a new promise, committing to a new self, a new way of being, a new chapter that we're stepping into. So I feel like you're really committing to a new chapter, but I also do feel like this is leading you towards what you actually desire to commit to. So even in regards to your love life, let's say you're single, this is going to help you attract the person that you actually are going to want to marry, that you're going to want to be with for the rest of your life. That this new you that you're birthing into is going to help you really find and make room and make space for your ultimate divine union partner. Finances and career coming up. Oh, wedding can also have a few other interpretations as well. This is a general reading, so sometimes I like to point out all the different interpretations. For some of you, if you are married, I feel like this is going to help your partner actually see who you are and things might shift and transform there. But some of you, the people who really want to be in your life are going to stay committed, and they're going to last through this shift. So finances and career also coming up. I also feel like this is not only going to affect your love life, this new way of being and this new dynamic that you're having with yourself, where you're giving to yourself, you're finding your own personal fulfillment, and you're having more balance. This is also going to help you financially. If you think about the energy dynamic and the persona dynamic of somebody who's constantly in service to others and constantly people-pleasing, when you look at that dynamic, that is also a dynamic of somebody who will constantly pursue but not receive, right? Because it's not receiving, it's closing off from receiving. That usually will also play out in our financial world, where we've actually unconsciously been closed off to receiving money. We've been closed off to receiving monetary compensation for our work and our efforts in our career. So there might have been some parallels within your career where maybe it's like, I'm doing so much work and I'm barely scraping by. I'm doing so much, but I have nothing to show for it. Or it seems like anytime I make money, bills come in that all of a sudden take it away from me. If that sounds familiar to you, that is because of the old energy dynamic that you are now getting rid of, where you didn't know how to receive, right? Because this is going to get into a whole lesson about abundance, but I'm really excited to share this with you. So listen up. This is like, okay, so in manifestation, everything is energy, and even money and receiving and making money is energy. If our energy within our relationships, because also we have a relationship with money, don't forget, our relationship with money is also a relationship. And depending on the dynamic of that relationship will depend on how money shows up in our life. So if we're constantly in relationships or creating relationships, or we have the persona of somebody who's constantly a giver but doesn't know how to receive, and just like the example that I gave earlier, where if you receive a compliment but you immediately feel uncomfortable and you feel like, I have to give a compliment back, and you can't just sit there and be like, wow, thank you. Or somebody gives you a gift or shows up for you or does something for you, and then you feel like, I kind of owe them back. If you constantly feel like you owe them back because they've done something for you, again, that's an issue with receiving, and that's going to show up in your relationship with money as well, because that's also a relationship. So let's say money comes your way, that's receiving, right? And if we feel uncomfortable with receiving, we're also going to then manifest unconsciously a way to give that money back from where it came, right? So unconsciously, all of a sudden, different expenses are going to come in, or we're unconsciously going to just spend it and be like, whoa, where did my money go? Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that this weekend I spent like all my extra money that I had. Oh my gosh, that went away so fast. I feel like I barely bought anything, and all of a sudden it's all gone. Or all of a sudden we get these bills in the mail, or all of a sudden it just flies out. That is also because we're uncomfortable with receiving, because we might have that dynamic of being a people pleaser. We might have that dynamic of constantly being of service to others, constantly wanting to prove ourselves, constantly wanting others to like us. That same dynamic plays out in money and our relationship with finances and our relationship with our career, where we're going to manifest a career where it's like, holy crap, I'm working so hard, barely scraping by, and then money just flies right back out of my hands. I can't seem to hold it. I can't seem to save it. And it's because of that energy of the giving and receiving. We have to learn how to receive. So this next chapter for you, I feel like you're realizing like, I want to receive more. I want to fill my own cup. I want to work on filling my cup in my relationships, my personal life, your finances. This is getting beyond just a love reading right here, but the fact that you're realizing this in love, it's going to, again, pour into all areas of your life, including your finances and career, which is going to be so positive for you moving forward. And there's going to be a whole new level of commitment in your life, a commitment to yourself, a commitment to this new promise to you, and it is going to help you create a very positive dynamic moving forward when it comes to other people, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to money, when it comes to career, when it comes to all of those different types of things. And this reading is getting long already, and we still have so many more cards to get into. We have the card of flirt. This is going to help you be so much more confident. It's also going to help create more fun relationships in your life. And also with flirt, I feel like there's this energy of like flirting with your career, like having more fun with your career, having more fun with money in a way where you're able to keep it and receive it. And let's see, let's get one more card here and then we'll get into our last oracle deck for you and see any last messages. Oh, we also have the card of caution. So you're going to be so much more cautious about the relationships that you allow in your life. So much more cautious too of your actions. It's almost like you're putting this caution tape around you over the next little while where you're like, pause before taking action. Before I say yes to this thing that somebody's asking of me, before I just take this action and do something for somebody, do I actually genuinely feel in my heart like I want to do it? Because again, it is amazing to do things for other people. It's amazing to have a reciprocative relationship. But I feel like for you, it's been a little bit more one-sided lately. And the caution card, I feel like is you putting caution tape around yourself for your actions and the things that you decide to do so that you're not constantly giving too much. And you're also putting caution around the people that you let into your life. So let's see what else we have. We have ancestors. This is going to heal an ancestral wound. Maybe you've learned this in your childhood. Maybe you were taught to be like this as a child. This is healing ancestral patterns for you, familial patterns. Maybe one of your parents was like this. Maybe your parents had a relationship that one of them was constantly doing most of the stuff. Or you were taught to be that way from your parents. Maybe you were taught like you're the one that constantly has to do things, or that you constantly have to give back anytime somebody does something for you. We also have the card of dare to dream. You're stepping into your own unique energy where you're going to be daring yourself to dream bigger, to go for more, to go for what you actually want, to go for the things that are fulfilling, rather than feeling like you have to do something that somebody else told you to do. So that is what is coming in this next chapter of your love life, which is going to be so beautiful, and the next chapter of your career, because that came up in this reading too. So there's a lot of different chapters that you are stepping into, or a lot of different changes that are happening because of this new chapter that you're stepping into. So that is your reading. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye.